Before we highlight the best and most challenging car shipping locations in the state, generally speaking, the best car shipping locations are going to be the biggest cities, followed by those locations on or near interstates. You'll have the quickest and least expensive auto transports from these locations. The most challenging car shipping locations are going to be in remote towns and cities. These are towns and cities that are more than 50 miles away from major cities or interstates. It takes more time and costs more money to ship a car to or from these remote locations. With these general guidelines in mind, let's look at the best and most challenging car shipping locations in this state. All right, as we take a look at the state of Virginia, the best car shipping locations are going to start with the state's capital city, and that is the city of Richmond in the Richmond metropolitan area. What makes this a particularly decent car shipping location is, one, its population, two, it is the capital city, and three, there are two major trucking corridors that pass through the metropolitan area of Richmond, and that is I-64 that runs through the entire state, and also I-95, which is a very busy trucking corridor that goes along the East Coast. So anything going up and down the coast, 95 is usually the interstate that car carriers are traveling along. So Richmond makes for an ideal car shipping location. Your next best location in the state is going to be actually along the coast, which normally isn't the case. Usually when you get to the coast, those become more challenging, but Virginia Beach and Norfolk, that whole area there, actually is a decent car shipping location in Virginia because most of the car carriers that are doing coast-to-coast transports, Virginia Beach and Norfolk is their last stop as they get to the East Coast, coming from the West Coast. So they'll unload their trailers here, and then they'll load their trailers back up, and then they'll head back to the West Coast. So Virginia Beach and Norfolk area being their last stop on the East Coast makes for good locations for them. And then finally, the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area that spills over into Virginia can be fairly decent, mainly or specifically Fairfax, but it's this whole pocket right in here. Again, the whole metropolitan area of Washington, D.C. that's over on the Virginia side. Car carriers will not go into Washington, D.C. typically, so they will normally go to just outside D.C., so they'll either go to Fairfax in Virginia or they'll go somewhere on the Maryland side of Washington, D.C. Now, as we look at the more challenging car shipping locations in Virginia, let's start in the far west area of the state. This area right in here, all of this is forests and lots of green, no interstates. Car carriers do not like that area. This pocket right in here in South Central or Central Virginia, again, lots of green, sparsely populated towns, no interstates. Car carriers don't like that area. And then all these areas here along the coast and along the Chesapeake Bay and the peninsula out here, all of these are definitely more challenging car shipping locations. And again, what we mean by challenging car shipping locations, these are all pockets of the state that car carriers aren't going to on a regular basis. So it just typically takes more time and oftentimes more money to incentivize car carriers to go to these areas that they don't normally go to. To find out what it costs to ship a car to or from Virginia, get an instant quote on our website at www.jnstransport.com.